let's say you're going to teach English in university in Japan, then you need a master degree at least. But otherwise, not really.
So are they going out of the country to get it? Because it seems like there would be more people, if that's the case, that have to have a graduate. So are they going elsewhere to get the graduate degrees? Or are they still getting them in Japan and that's all they're getting?
I think so, yeah. Just in Japan.
Just in Japan.
Well, isn't it way more expensive to go abroad to get your degree?
Like master's degree?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, didn't Dr. Bonham tell us that to come to Appalachian from another country costs
But some
an
schools,
astronomical amount?
some schools also have deals they work with students. Like at Western, a lot of students from India applied for a special program and were able to pay in-state tuition. So it was so much cheaper for them to come to Western than to go to a school in India for that reason.
Okay.
So I think different schools work out different programs.
It might depend, but it might cost to travel from Japan to come to the US. But tuition fees. I think it's not difficult to get like financial aids here compared to Japan, like a scholarships. It's easier. Yeah, and it's usually you don't have to pay back later.
Depends on which one.
Yeah.
Now, does the Japanese government help out with the graduate school tuition and university tuition? I saw we had the government in senior high school, but do they also help out, like with subsidize it under the university, or?
They might offer scholarship or financial aids in that way. Any other questions? Okay. So, academic calendar. And this is an example of Kansai Gaida University. I separate 12 months into 2 groups because we start first semester in April and we end in March. And usually one semester consists of 4 months and 2 months of break. And I'd say this is really common for every university. And what do you think students would do in those breaks? Work, yes, part-time job. And some students belong to a club, and some students do go traveling, or some students go study abroad.
Wouldn't that be hard for them to go study abroad because the calendar is so different from other countries?
Like language school, they can go. Language school, like not like university, or like summer program offered by a university, or like a language school. And then there are many events like entrance and graduation ceremony. So in April there is an entrance ceremony, and in March there is a graduation ceremony. So this is the main topic. The plan for an intake of 300,000 international students by the year 2020. So what is it about?
Increase diversity.
International students.
International students.
Being globally competitive.
Increasing their credibility as university teachers and as universities in general.
So it's about challenge for internationalization and globalization. So, but what's the purpose?
To increase the student body with like Juan said, with a diverse student body, so there's more interaction between the cultures.
Well, and I remember reading an article too that a lot of students spend a lot of time learning English and don't get to practice it. So since they're
there's so many countries that speak English, they can have the opportunity to practice.
Yeah. So it's good for us as a Japanese and also good for people from other countries. So it's to steadily construct the country as a main entrance for the world by enhancing a smoother flow of people and money, products, and information. Oh, and how? One, by conducting information to get foreigners' attention. And two, by presenting potential support before intake, like environmentally, financially. And three, by making 30 selected universities run effectively. One of the universities is Kansai Gaidai University. And fourth, providing comfortable environments. And the last one is by supporting students socially and more job opportunity for them. Do you have any comments or notes? And what you think will be prospective issues and why?
The teachers, like their abilities to teach international students.
Like a teacher, like Japanese teachers.
That has trouble teaching in another well, teaching in another language. But one of the things that stuck out to me when I was reading the article too was if it's so difficult for Japanese students to get into university, how hard is it going to be for international students to get in? And I saw something about having to take the entrance exam in Japan, so you have to go there just to take the entrance exam in some situations. So that's, and I mean that's expensive too.
Is the entrance exam in Japanese? Do they have foreign language versions for those of us?
Well, see, part of the programs that I read on there was that they do want you to be fluent in Japanese, but then other parts we're talking about doing it in English to appeal, to make it easier and appeal to more students, since so many people in countries speak English. So it's kind of both.
And it's only twice a year, isn't it?
Entrance examination.
The language examination is like TOEFL, but TOEFL you can take any time, like pretty much. But the Japanese was like twice a year only, wasn't it?
To prove like how good your Japanese is.
No, to get into the university, you can only take the test. There's only 2 times a year that you can take the test to be admitted to the university.
I think it's once a year.
Once a year, okay, that makes it even more difficult to plan. And
But yeah, if you fail,
don't do
then
well
you have
first
to
time.
wait for the next year to take it.
well, and that's a lot of planning. If you just kind of decide.
But usually we take several different universities, just in case you fail your first choice of university, then maybe you pass the second choice.
Oh, so you take a different one at each university, or do you take as a national test that the scores go to all the universities, or is it that you have to take entrance exam at each university you go to?
Is it like TOEFL?
There's only one exam, entrance exam.
But
in
different
general.
universities require different scores.
Oh,
Okay.
And some universities require you to go there to take it.
That's what I was reading.
yeah, which makes it very difficult to apply with it. Take the
Yeah,
test.
before you accept it. $2,000 probably.
So suddenly a lot of the characters I've seen in anime make a lot more sense now. Because they're all about, they're all worried about the entrance exam.
Yeah, now you understand. You all
It
take
makes a
it
little more sense.
once a year, and you're out of luck for the year.
Well, another issue will be probably the government. They're not very supportive.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Somebody mentioned the academic calendar for students taking classes abroad, but I think that would also be difficult for international students because the calendar wouldn't match up with like our fall or spring or summer semesters at all. So if we wanted to study abroad in Japan, we'd have to take a year off of school to get a semester's worth of work.
Actually, a couple of years ago, several universities just decided to start a semester in September, like the same system here. It's only like a couple of universities, like Tokyo University, main universities in Japan. But there'll be more and more universities, so that more international students can come and we can go overseas too.
Now, do you know if the international students pay the same as the Japanese students, or do they pay even more than that?
I think it's usually the same, but maybe government will help with socially. Maybe they will pay your tuition fees. But I'm not sure. There must be a system like that to support international students. I think it's part of this plan. So any questions, like in general?
Because I know that in Japan, the average income is quite high compared to other countries, you know. So it's pretty hard for other countries for them to go, you know, students from other countries to go over there to study, paying that amount. And if they're not Japanese, and it's probably hard for them to get a loan as well, because they're not going to stay in the country to pay back the loan. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And if the government's not even, like you said, they're not even offering the grant for the own students, how are they offering the grant to the other students from outside of the country? So.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. If the government would pay for the tuition fee, it should be grant, so that they don't have to pay later.
I just have a comment, I guess. She was mentioning that the schedule calendar of the U.S., but remember that with globalization in Colombia, we have the same schedule.
Right, so that's why it's not just the US, yeah.
So it's not, maybe not necessarily, you know,
You mean it's
That's
not
not
all
all
US?
but then I would wonder and question if there want more U.S. citizens and residents, or are they looking at other parts of the world? Because in the paper that we read,
Right.
it said they want to practice English. Well, in Colombia we speak Spanish sometimes.
And it looked like they were looking at more of the Asian countries too. They want more of the Asian countries. to
Yeah,
come.
so I
But
would
many
be,
Spanish people speak English, so if they have classes offered in English, it would draw people from multiple countries. Okay, maybe not Colombia, but many countries.
Right,
For many
right, no, I
countries,
get it.
English is their second language.
Yeah.
So they weren't.
but I
Maybe
would,
not Colombia.
I would be just curious to see if that plan is targeted to the U.S. or is it targeted to other countries.
You said 50 other countries, right?
Actually, the Kansai Gaidai University, they adjust the U.S. kind of academic calendar. So they have two semesters, just like the U.S. Starting from September and for 3-4 months, then from January to May, so that international students can take classes at Kansai Gaidai University. But at that time, like local students will be gone in a certain months, because it's not that their academic months. So if there's no questions, then I'd like to say thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you for bearing with my English.